officials than he is on his team. And, you know, he fouled out of this game with 4 minutes left. He's upset about the 5th and 6th foul. He had 2 fouls in this game that were 80 feet from the basket. He probably could have been called for 3 or 4 technical fouls, if I'm being honest, and possibly even more in this game. The officials gave him wide latitude. He is blown by repeatedly defensively over and over. And I realize he's dealing with injuries, but he's blown by repeatedly over and over through this series. Boston is totally attacking him on defense. And with 5 fouls, that's when he decides to try to draw a charge with 4 minutes left to go in a tight game. Just very poor decision-making from an awesome player. It is repeatedly happening. And at some point, I do believe Luka is going to win a championship. He will raise a banner here in Dallas, but he is going to have to get past this issue that is dragging him down. He does almost everything else so well. His teammates have begged him. His coaches have begged him. His countrymen have begged him. And he's just not getting over the hump. And it happened. I saw it happen last summer. I saw it happen here tonight. I wonder how many more times we're going to see it happen before Luka understands what it means to graduate to the next level and show leadership, because he just wasn't able to do it tonight.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, so we obviously saw... I mean, what did he say to that official, man? Not to the official. What did he say to his bench? Let's take a look at it right here. What the hell did he say to the bench? Like, what did he say right here, bro?
He's fouled out.
Like, for me, I don't think he's a problem, but he really has to look himself in the mirror. The team he's on will go as he goes. The Luka offense is over. His defense has to exist. His conditioning needs to elevate, and his mentality has to be much, much better. For me, it was... I agree with everything you just said there, Elijah. I couldn't like that. That was perfect and concise. For me, it's real glaring that the way he asked his own bench, because if you see right here, that's the Celtics bench, right? This is the Mavericks bench. So it's one thing for him to yell like that at the referees, which he's been doing. Why the fuck are you yelling at your own bench like that? Did that throw anybody else off? Like, we've seen him cuss out referees and yell at... Why the fuck are you yelling at your own bench like that? To challenge... They would have challenged it for you anyway. You're the best fucking player. That to me was a red flag. And I don't think it's Luka. I mean, I don't think it's a Kyrie Irving thing. I think they need someone like a Udonis Haslem. So when he does some shit like that, it's not Jayson Kidd. It's not the staff member. It's not whoever the general manager is. It's not Mark Cuban. No, you got to deal with your own fucking power forward. I know we were talking yesterday about Draymond Green. You deserve to get punched in your face right now, Luka. I am so sorry. Being a brat is one. Like, why are you yelling at your team like that? That is, like, how the fuck do you think they're supposed? It's amazing that they kept it close. Probably because they're like, oh, thank God that motherfucker's off the floor right now. Because what the what? Nah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, that's some shit that, Like, nah, like if Udonis Haslem was on this team, him and Luka would have to have a conversation right after this game. If Kenyon Martin is on this, they would have to have a conversation right after. You're not yelling at your own team like that, bro. That's nuts. So I just wanted to point that part out because, like, the referees, it is now extending to his own team. And I get that he's frustrated, but that is your team. Like, yeah, go yell at the referee. Go yell at the other team. That's your team. That's your. Those are supposed to be your brothers, and I get that. Like, but this isn't you're not in conflict with them. They didn't call the foul on you, dumbass. Like, he's yelling at his own team like they called the foul on him. And yeah, it was like it was just I get it. He's in the heat of the moment, but like, dog, that's one of those things you gotta apologize to those guys, dog. Cause what the fuck? And I get it. They're grown ass men. Maybe some of them didn't even give a fuck about it, but maybe I'm looking too deep into this, right? That's also very possible. But for me, it was a very odd thing to see. You don't see anything happen like that unless, like, you know, two guys blow an assignment or someone blows an assignment or like someone fucks up a play. You are the one that got called for the foul. Like, what the but, you know, I guess for me, on assessing whether or not he is the problem, obviously they don't get this far without Luka Doncic. So the over exaggeration on, oh yeah, all of this shit about Luka Doncic, like, yes, he has to make adjustments. Yes, he has to get better. Yes, all of these things are correct. But he was still a MVP finalist, and they are in the NBA Finals. So, and this is what, his 6th year, I think, right? 5th or 6th year. So is the things that he's are the things that he's doing problematic? Yes. Can it snowball and become worse over time if it doesn't get fixed? Yes. However, to say that he is the problem, like, they got to the finals still, and they ran into a brick wall. Is what's happened. They ran into a brick fucking wall, and that shit is not moving. and on the wall it says Boston Celtics. like a lot of people are, you know. And I think the other part of it too is sometimes this is a part of the story. Like, you have to go through losses like this. Like, he is losing on the biggest stage, and everything that he's doing is getting highlighted. We're talking about it right now. Like, I couldn't believe that he did that in front of everyone. But now he has to see it over and over and over again. And hopefully that has a positive effect on him. Hopefully it motivates him to be better. Hopefully it forces him to get in the gym and be in better shape. Now he knows what kind of shape he needs to be in at this point of the year, right? And obviously he's dealing with injuries and all this stuff. Kyrie finally had a great game last night. And I know there's a lot of frustration, but he obviously has a lot to work on moving forward. I think a big part of it is being in shape, or being in better shape, not being in shape, but being in better shape, and also just working on getting off of the ball more. Like, it'll make you way better, Luka. Trust me.